So good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to everyone who has joined today. Our webinar today is on life in Germany. My name is Mary Silvia Maremwa, and I'll be your moderator this evening. On behalf of Passcode Global Consultants, I want to thank you for taking your time to join us today. We are so passionate about helping students and professionals access genuine education and career opportunities in Germany. So I will introduce who Passcode is briefly, even as you wait for our speaker to join. So Passcode Global Consultant is a nursing agency and currently also we've included high school graduates who want to pursue global opportunities, especially in countries like USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, and the larger Europe. So at Passcode Global Consultants, we do train German language, that is from A1 to B2. We do Ausbildung placements. We also do university admissions for those who would like to go do their masters or do their degrees in German. We also have nursing pathways, that is registered nurses who would like to go to German as RNs in German. And then we also do visa guidance and we do career support. So recently we are lucky, or we were happy to have achieved one of the milestones, that is the NEA license. We are now a fully accredited agency licensed by the government to help those who would like to pursue global opportunities. So it's a huge milestone for us, and especially for our people who want to go to German to pursue different levels of career as well as education. So at Pascal Global Consultants, we don't just teach German, we work with our students from the classroom all the way to Germany. So our goal is to make the process transparent, affordable, and successful. So I would like to introduce the speaker. He's yet to join, but I'm sure he's joining very soon. So tonight we are privileged to have Mr. Jonathan Ouma. He's a nurse currently living in and working in Germany. He will share his real life experience, the challenges, the opportunities, and the practical advice for anyone planning to move to Germany. So Jonathan will be taking us through the webinar. He's going to take 40 minutes. And some of the questions that he's going to help answer are what surprised him the most after arriving in German. So those are some of the questions that we prepared for him. He's also going to share with us how difficult was learning German. Was it easy or was it a difficult path? And how much does it cost to live in Germany? That's another question. Then what opportunities exist for nurses and other professionals? I understand we are not only nurses here, but we have different people, different professionals. And then he's also going to answer a question on what mistakes should newcomers avoid. So you just going to German, you just landed in German. What are some of the mistakes that you're supposed to avoid so that you don't land into trouble? And then what advice would you give someone starting their German pathway today? So those are some of the questions that we expect. As I started earlier, I said let's chat on the chat box. Share what are your expectations. Ask questions on the topic. Few people are already sending their questions. So trust me, these questions will be answered. So, like, there's someone who is asking, do you have any agency that are recruiting job seekers, that is cleaners in Germany, that are not strictly, let me get the answer very well, that are not strictly on Goethe certificate, but only with basic German language or Austria? So that question, when our speaker comes on the board, he's going to answer. Someone is also asking, what can someone get with an A2 level and how do you go about in the embassy? That's also an interesting question for someone who wants to relocate. Then someone is also saying, another person is asking, there's another question that has come here. Oh, it's the same that I had shared earlier. Is German worth relocating to? Someone is also asking such that question. So let's keep interacting. Let's keep sharing our expectations and the questions ready for our speaker to take us through. Let's keep sending our questions. We can assure you that all this will be answered correctly. And also, just to give you a brief on our German language program, we have monthly intakes, that is for A1. We have options of both online and physical classes. So anyone who would like, you are not limited to you're not limited to your preference. If you want to join our physical classes, you can. If you want to join our online classes, you can also join. Classes Monday begins from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Thursday of every week. Our intakes are usually on every month. So for the July intake, we're enrolling A1 and B1 students. So for those of you who would like to join the B1 classes, our classes kicks tomorrow, the 6th of July. So you're very much welcome. Should you want to join, I'll share our contact details and our languages coordinator number, that is Sharon Wambui, so that you can reach out to her and get more information on how we can enroll you. I'd like to let you know that our programs are very thorough. Our programs are very thorough, and we can assure you that once you engage, once you get to join our program, you can be assured of great pass. We also have tutors, both in local and international tutors. So for those who join our online program, you have the privilege of interacting with our international tutors, that is who are currently in German. So let's keep sending our questions and our feedback as we wait our speaker to join.
Okay. Uh, Let me take this opportunity to greet everyone. Good evening, and I hope you are doing good. Like you've been told already, my name's Jonathan Ouma or Jonathan Onyango. What you can see there, those are all my names. So currently in Germany, already 3 years here, working in this medical field and exploring also different opportunities here in Germany. So first thing that always people ask, is it worth that now you are in Germany? Yes, you can't compare Germany with Kenya. That is first thing that you can agree with. Second thing is it is advanced country, so everything is advanced. So in short, I can say you won't regret. It is something very, very worth that when you move to Germany, you can't regret the decision you made. Only when you are comparing now, you say, yes, I have a chance in USA, I have a chance in UK, I have a chance here. So when you are exploring with other countries, then it depends. But I cannot talk about other countries because myself have not been there. But the moving to Germany can be worth. As a nurse who studied nursing in Kenya, when you come to Germany, you'll find work is now very easy because Germany is one country that has um, subsidized their health system very well. So they have categorized them easily and it makes the work very easy. So long as you know the language, it makes your work very, very easy when you are now trying to integrate. So you'll find that integrating won't be that difficult. There are some tasks that maybe as a nurse you carry out in Kenya, but when you get to Germany, you'll find you can't carry out such tasks because now they are left to the doctors. So you'll find the doctors work more here than now the nurses. So for the nurses, it is not much stressing with many work. So you'll find like the work environment sometimes can vary. Like in Kenya, the hospitals are good. There are standards in good standards, and now you will realize that there are some, let me say, like it is allowed circulating all around taking care of patients in terms of their diseases, in terms of now seeing that this person today woke up like this. Have they done the cleaning by themselves, or those who maybe their assistants who do that, the nursing assistant do those works. But now you as a nurse, you are there to make sure everything has been carried out. So it is always a very simple system to integrate. You work around 18 to 22 days in a month, meaning in a month you must have 9 days free or even more. But depending on the shifts that you do, when you do night shift, then you'll find you have more resting days. Some people prefer doing night shifts, some people prefer doing late shift, some people prefer doing the morning shift. In the hospital, the morning shift starts at 8, not 8, at 6 in the morning up to 14, 6 up to 14, there up to 2 p.m. So from 6 up to 2 p.m. plus you have 30 minutes break. So you'll find now in a day you work around 8 hours. So 8 hours, then from 14 to, or from 2 p.m. up to 10 p.m. There you have the late shift. Then the night shift starts from 10 p.m. up to 6 in the morning again. So there are three shifts. They have the morning shift, the late shift, and the night shift. So you can always say, I would like to work late shift, and you just plan. But always there is that changing of shift, which is also very important. So the shifts are like that. Another thing comes now in living standard. The living standard is a little bit high, but not so high because the houses are expensive. In Germany, housing is a little bit expensive. The cheapest maybe you can find is 300 euros. That is the cheapest house you can get. 300 euros up to 800 euros now. When you want 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, you find up to 300 euros and above. And now that is just house. So there comes another other bills, but it can't drain all your money. So always depending on how you plan yourself to clear those bills, then it is always easy. Then now when you start, you'll find you have a package of let me say after deduction, the net pay. The net pay can be from 2,500 euros going onwards. That is in an hospital, 2,500 euros going onwards. In we call them psychiatry now, the mental hospital, there it is a little bit high. There it is around from 2,800 going onwards. So for them, they pay a little bit higher. But you have also another opportunity to do another mini job. We call it mini job, a side job, meaning you can register for another job and you have two. But this other one that is called mini job, you only do it 4 days in a month and you earn up to 500 to 600 euros monthly. So on top of that you are earning 2,700, you have 600 on top. So you are calculating around there with 3,300. So when you remove even 1,500 for your bills, you still have 1,800 left. 1,800 euros, it depends on the rates. You will just have to save something. You have to save something. So on matter of bills, people can tell you there are many bills. Yes, bills are there. I think every country has bills. Almost all the countries, they pay taxes. But now, depending on how you manage yourself, you will find you can save well. You can save very well. So that is it. On the climate, as you know, that Germany is a country that has seasons, and the best season, maybe we say, is always the spring. Spring is always good with rain, a little bit sun. Summer can be too hot. Like last weekend, it was around over 40 degrees, very hot for 2 days, very, very hot. Then we have the winter, which is now the coldest season, always there. People feel very depressed sometimes because of the cold. It is always very stressing. You have to wake up, you have to walk in the darks, you have to work, and it is very cold. That is always in December, January, and February is always very difficult, but it is easy when you are in the house. You have the heater, you turn on, but always know how to regulate that heater because you will end up paying too much money for the heater. So you always, when you get to Germany, see how you can regulate on that heating of the house. It can cost you a lot. It can cost you a lot. So on the life, generally about life, that is what I can say. It is good. You have a very flexible routine as a nurse. You work and you have time to relax. You have time to improve your language and everything. And now, when you are integrating now, meaning as a nurse, you need a B2. You need a B1 maybe for traveling, but the moment you get to Germany, now your papers need that recognition, then definitely you need a B2. So B2 is just a must. There is no way you can escape that matrix of not having the B2. B2 is just a must. And learning it in German is expensive. than in Kenya. So that's why always they say just do even up to B2, so that maybe when you relocate, you only do exams in Germany. Or you do everything in Kenya. When you relocate, you have 3 to 6 months, and now you are already fully recognized. And the language plays a very big role. When you come, depending on the level of the language you've learned, from 2 to 3 months is just adapting, because you are not used to people speaking to you now in this language every day on a daily basis. Maybe you are just used to listening some 2 or 3 audios twice in a week and so on. But this one now, you listen to audios, but you don't need to respond to anything. Here you listen, you need to respond, and so on. So always, there are some people who can say, now I got a contract to go and start in the theater section. That one can be very marathon for you, because you can imagine you have a language problem and you are in the theater down there. You are being ordered, bring this, bring this, bring this. You don't know, because there they don't need delays. So always choose that station where you think, here I worked and I saw it was very good and I can integrate easily. Because when you come, you are asked, which station do you prefer to work? It is the cardiology, if it is the one for gastronomy, if it is for the operations there. In German, we call them Chirurgie. If it is the intensive, or if it is the palliative, that's how we call some in German the end stage. That one's palliative. So always choose the station that you can integrate well. So don't let someone tell you in the theater you will get much money, but it is when you are coming. When you go with a language barrier, it can give you a lot of problems. And here also, as a nurse, you have to be attentive to, or you have to be very attentive to whatever you do. What is not supposed to be your work, don't do it. If it is supposed to be doctor's work, if it is supposed to be doctor's work and they don't want to do it, maybe they are busy. If they tell you to do it, they put it in a writing form, not that just telling you, go and give this patient this and this, or go and do this and this. They have to put it in a writing form, because when a mistake occurs, the doctor is the one who should take the responsibility. But when you do it, when the doctor has not written to you, they just told you by a word of mouth. When the problem occurs now, you get arrested, because that is not your work. You didn't do that. You are not supposed to be doing that. So that is one thing. Always, when you will know your roles, stick to that. Don't do something extra which is not supposed to be your role. So, on the work areas, I think that is what I can say. Now, another thing on the relocating is, you don't relocate and you are thrown in, start working. There is a phase now where you are guided, you are told this is how we operate here, this is how we do this. So at least you'll find you get that good orientation, which is also there. In the hospitals, you go some, you'll find Kenyans are there, so they can help you well to integrate. So it can be very simple, not heavy as expected. So I think that is it. So maybe I can start going through some of the questions one by one. We can start going through some of the questions one by one. What's the entry salary for nurses with the B2 certificate? I said that one. The least I think is 2,400. The least I think is 2,400 euros. That is the least. That one you've not worked night shift. When you work night shift, when you work on Sunday, when you work on a holiday, it can shoot. Because when you work on Sunday in Germany, you get 50% extra. Meaning if you are paid 25 per hour, or let's say 30 per hour in meaning you will get 50 extra, meaning you now paid 45 per hour on Sunday. In if it is holiday, a national holiday, then it is 100%, meaning it is not taxed at all. So if you are working 30 per hour, if you work 8 hours, if you work on a holiday, meaning that day you just get that 240 euro, they don't tax it 100%. But the one for Sunday, they tax it 50%. That is it. Um, what's the cost of accommodation? Accommodation, like I say, is 300 up to 800, depending on the type of house you want. But the least is 300 to 350. That is the least, maybe like a bed sitter you can get. Then I have some question. What surprised you most after arriving in Germany? In Germany, there is a lot of culture shock. It is a different culture. Everything is different. So you will get surprised with a lot of things. First, how the Germans they carry themselves out. They are not socialites. You can mistake them to being racist because they are not socialites. In Kenya, you are used to seeing someone and they greet you like that, even if you don't know each other. You used to meeting people on the street, you speak, but Germans are not socialites. So their culture can sometimes shock you. So the culture shock are many. They don't sit next to each other in the bus. It's very rare. Only when it is very full, then you'll find every seat is occupied. But when it's not full, you find they don't sit next to each other. Something like that. You will find in Germany, every meal is taken with bread. Bread now is like their staple food. Yeah. So that is it. And how difficult was learning the German language? German language, it is always difficult when you are starting because you still have that denial of self-denial telling you, no, I still cannot do this. But the moment now you start working on it on a daily basis, you give it that passion. You look of ways to learn German. And now learning a language, you do it with what you like most. If you like singing, try even singing in German. So learning German when you start it is difficult, but as you work, put more efforts, try to integrate, then you'll find it is something that is very simple, but it needs passion, consistency, and hard work. It doesn't need someone who is lazy, that you say, no, today I won't learn, I will learn tomorrow. Until the time you get to Germany, until the time it reaches a point, you don't need to interact with it more. You'll find now the level at which you learn has reduced a little bit. But I can assure you, the moment you started learning in A1, learning of the German language won't stop. Even to me, up to today, I still learn. I'm still learning because you can find a new word at work that is learning. So learning is it like that. How much it does it cost to live there? Now there I cannot maybe say because I cost of living here, I've said of house, I've said food depends on how your eating habit is. There are people maybe who don't eat much, so you'll find they spend even 100, but food is very cheap. Yeah, when you go and do shopping, it's very cheap. Bread is like 1 euro, milk is like 0.5 euro. So those ones now are cheap commodities to eat, very cheap. You can eat, but now it depends on your eating habits. If you're someone who don't like cook, you want to eat in restaurant, obviously you'll spend more than a person who cooks. And what opportunities exist for nurses and other professionals? Nurses, I think the nurses, the opportunity they have is only to be the nurse, nursing, I think. I think maybe that's what you meant. yeah, the opportunities they have as nurses is just practicing now as nurse here in Germany. And now other professionals, I think teachers, mostly ECD teachers are the ones who maybe now are highly in need in Germany, ECD teachers. But the others, they are not much highly needed. Engineers, handwork, those who have done engineering, be it electrical, be it mechanical, be it civil, those who have done engineering, I think they also have good opportunities in Germany, those professionals. So those, but the nursing still leads in that field. The mistakes, the mistakes you should avoid is don't always think what you are doing in Kenya, maybe you come and do in Germany. Now, maybe you see like now, I've I've trespassed. In Germany, when you trespass, there is no being sorry. You know, in Kenya, you can trespass against the law and say, no, I didn't know, I'm sorry, like this, like this. In Germany, when you are against the law, when it says you should not be chatting while cycling and you are caught, and you say, no, I didn't know, and something like that, they just tell you, okay, no problem, but we have to do our work. So what you need to avoid are those, um, always try to observe first and know how something is done, know how things are. Don't always come and just think now it is just like in Kenya, so I can just do some things. No, not everything you do in Kenya you'll find here is right. So some things like that. Here is a country that system works. The system works. So when you are here, you just have to adhere to the system because it works. And is Germany worth relocating to? I said that when I was starting, I said, yeah, it is worth. I can't compare it to Kenya. I can't say now stay in Kenya. If you are someone who is looking maybe for a new pathway that can open new opportunities, Germany has a shortage, and the language is the only barrier. Once you have the language, once you can speak the language well, you will be fully integrated into this country very easily. Very nice. So it is worth. Someone who is starting, I can only advise you start by learning the language first and work as hard as you can to master the language. Master that language. That language is the only key that can make you not have stress here when you are learning. Don't, it will make you now, you can integrate anywhere, any easily. You can explain yourself easily. Now you are not stressed like now. That I'm in the train station and I cannot listen to anything. Now, learning of the language is the most important tool that you first base on. After learning that, when you are someone who has done B1, maybe or B2, your process is ongoing. Start looking now at verbs or vocabularies related to your field, because in Kenya you just learn general German. You'll find when you come now you are in the hospital. Now you need to learn vocabularies circulating in the hospital. Know how they call the, um, the vital session, that the temperatures and so on. Know how they are called in German. Know how some diseases are called. And you'll find something easy in German as a nurse is that the Germans, they have repeated diseases. They have diseases that are known now. These are the diseases affecting this country: diabetes, lung diseases, because they smoke a lot. We have heart diseases because of that smoking a lot. We have some, they have very many wounds now, not through accidents, not through fire, but now you find because there are people who smoke many years now, you'll find such side effects, the cancer. You find all the types of cancer here in Germany, they are there. So you'll find there are diseases that are just recurring. So inform yourself about those ones so you have enough information. But that is what I can advise someone who wants to start. And can you enter with B1 or it is just B2? When you enter with B1, it is possible, yes. But it will take you time now to integrate because you need to be recognized to start working. You have to be recognized with B2. With B1, you will work as an assistant nurse, meaning you are not a nurse, but you are an assistant. You do those works that assistants do here. So you will find it takes you maybe 6, even up to 12 months for relocating. So you can move with B1 only if you are prepared that in 1 month, in 1 month's time, I'm doing B2. But most employers, because people always come here and now they start fearing doing that B2. Some of the employer they insist on that B2 because they know the importance of that. So as to speeden up that process of recognition or what is also referred to as anakenu. So they take nurses with B1 and can take one relocate while pregnant. I think it is not easy because when you are pregnant here in Germany, just after conception, 3 months later, you are not able to work, but you are still paid. So if you sign contract when you are pregnant, they cannot even allow that because you will be sending your medical report. When they see you are pregnant, they cannot allow that because they know you are not coming to work. Maybe after 3 years is when you'll start working. Here, you don't give birth and take 2, 3 months, then come back to work. No, you have to raise that child up to a certain age is when now you are able to work. So with that one, it will be difficult. That one can't work easily. Mhm. Do you start directly with full nurse or work as an assistant for months? During the recognition process, you are still like an assistant, but not just assistant because you are learning. So during recognition process, you are still learning, but after 3 months, now you are a full nurse because the recognition process and the training is ongoing. Then when can someone do with A2 certificate in Germany? With A2 certificate, it's difficult because nowadays people have learned the language up to B2. So the employers, they have someone with B2 and now you apply with A2, automatically you want to get opportunity. There was times when A2 was being considered or even A1. I can remember in 2021 they could consider someone with A1, A2 even, but A2 you can do maybe an au pair. An au pair, that is this one like being a nanny, that is au pair, you can do it with the A2. And remember the A2 certificate expires after 6 months. So that is only what A2 can offer you. That is what you can do with the A2 certificate. That I have here. Radiographers also have opportunities like nurses. For radiographers, I've not had though. Maybe if I make some inquiry, but radiographer, I've not met even someone as a radiographer. And what can one get with A2? I think I've explained that with A2, it is difficult. With A2, it is difficult. It can't get you Ausbildung. It can only get you au pair. It can't get you even the FSCOT, which is now the voluntary, because there also is B1 needed. So with A2, you have very limited opportunity. That is the au pair. So when you have A2, it is only that au pair that you can apply for. And as you do that, A2, after 6 months, it is expired. The embassy processing or the appointment for au pair itself takes 1 year. So meaning for au pair, You book an appointment even before starting to learn the language. You book for appointment because it takes 1 year for you to get an appointment. So for A2 level, that one, just push it to B1 maybe. As B1 now, it can be considered, so long as you know how to speak, then it is like that. So maybe, yeah. Someone asked here, do different cities have different pace? Yes, different cities have different pace. Different cities have different pace. You'll find there are those that pay high because different cities also have different living standards. When you get to town, when you live in the town or cities like Bayern, Baden-Württemberg, those ones they pay well because in Bayern the life standard also is a little bit higher. The house in Bayern is a little bit high. So different cities, or we just say in short, different Bundesland. Bundesland, Germany is divided into provinces, and that's now what I call the Bundesland. So these different Bundesland, they have different pace. It depends. So someone is asking here, opportunity for research in social science and human rights. Um, those are very rare. Those are very rare. Research and social science is very rare to find. It takes time. It is not easy to find because it is also a country that is much developed. The AI is taking a lot of works here. That's why you hear they just need the handwork. But mostly the office jobs, the AI is taking less. Other day I was seeing the Volkswagen company laid off around 10,000 workers. Around 10,000 workers laid off. It is because the AI is taking a lot of those ones. And for those who are maybe you've learned something, to learn the Ausbildung, learn the language, come do Ausbildung. It is the best way to integrate German. It's the best way because when you learn Ausbildung, you get a certificate that is already recognized and you've integrated their system also, meaning you've learned in their system. So always it is very easy like that. Someone is asking again, is it possible to find a recruiter? Do they sponsor the language, German language? Some may sponsor the German language, but that one is according to the agreement that you'll make that. How will you pay that when you are already in Germany? You have to sign with some of them so that now they can see whether they pay or they don't pay. But nowadays, it is rare to find those who pay because some people, they don't adhere to the contract after signing. So there are those who pay the recruiters, which is not easy to find such. Here, better you always do most of the things with your money. When you get to German, you earn your money and you are free. So you'll find you are not tied to someone. When you get to Germany, take at least 1 year in where you are posted, even if it is bad. Take at least 1 year before you have extended your visa. You just have to persevere so that now you get that time to settle and adapt. Don't say, no, in the first week, this hospital is not good. I'm looking for the other. No, everything is paperwork here. When you migrate after some few days, then your visa is only 2 weeks valid before it expires. So if the process takes you more than 2 weeks, you have to go back. But if you have already taken like 1 year now, you have the work permit. Even if you decide here and say, no, this one is not good, you still have like 1 month. You just go to job center. Yes, not looking for job here is also not difficult. You just go to job center, you tell them I'm jobless. They tell you, okay, we are looking for a job for you, or there is a job here. Can you take this one? Yes. So it is always easy like that. So that is it. The employers, uh, some of them may cater for the expenses. Some of them may not cater for the expense. Like for me, I catered for my expenses. There are those who cater for expenses, but some they don't cater for expenses. So there is 50-50. Some cater for expenses, some do not. Mhm. Any other question? Are there some other questions?
Hi, Jonathan. We have more questions on the Q&A. I don't know if you are able to see or can read them out for you.
On the Q&A, I think I'm on the chat box and the Q&A also. On the Q&A,
Okay.
I think the last question there is if it is with an au pair program, what will the host family pay? The salary of the host family, I think they pay, au pair is paid around 300 euros to 350. It's not more than 350. Maximum 350, and they're entitled to pay for you a language school where you attend languages, you attend and learn the language. Yeah, Silvia, I think that was the Q&A section that you are saying, right?
That's very true. I'm compiling. I have so many that have come to my DM. Let me just have them posted here on the chat box, and then you can go ahead and answer.
Okay, post
Yeah.
them because I can see only those ones that I've answered here.
There you go, Jonathan.
Okay, here on the chat box, I can see some. Mhm. Yeah, well, I can see here. What is one myth about Germany that you would like to correct? Mhm. Maybe I don't know the myths that you hear. I don't know the myths that you hear, but always the most question people ask that racism is high in Germany. For me, I've never met racism, even at work. So long as you express well yourself well in the language, the Germans always respect that. They respect you when you speak their language. When you don't speak their language well, you can see that like they don't have that respect because maybe they have realized you don't understand, you cannot speak, like you are just there, then you can see there is not that respect. Also on racism, you'll find those who are racist now maybe are not the Germans. They might be other people who are maybe from Ukraine, from Syria, not Germans themselves. So yeah, that is one thing people ask about the racism, and that is how it is. And if you have 1 minute to convince someone to move to Germany, what would you say? What is one thing you wish you had known before relocating? Mhm. So, 1 minute to convince someone to move into Germany. Now, I think it is not a matter of convincing someone. That is one thing. Because when you make a decision, you want to move to Germany, you have also done your research. You don't need someone to convince you. You only need someone to confirm to you if is it a good place to be? Are there people there who are living? Are there people there who are
Jaden,
experiencing good thing? So I think on the part of maybe convincing someone, it's not convincing, but it's only just telling you Germany is a good country, you cannot regret, and you can have you can explore the world. Germany is also centrally located in Europe. You can explore Europe also very well. And what is that wish you had known before relocating to Germany? Maybe if I had known that I could learn the language earlier, I could have learned the language earlier from my high school. That is what I had wished, so that I could be much, much, much advanced. I could have moved long, long ago in Germany. And the achievement, uh-huh. So many personal achievements I have, which I like keeping personally. But when you are someone focused, you know what you need in life. Just get yourself that language, come to Germany and work. You don't have to see achievement someone has made. Then you see it is, you will have money, you can save. Yeah, that is it. Mhm. So someone is saying here, hmm, how many offs are you given in a year? You have offs in a year. I can't count the ones I have in a year. But apart from the offs, you have 30 days holiday, meaning you can go to a holiday 1 month. You don't work, but you're still paid your full salary. So you have 30 days, 30 working days. That is Monday to Friday, holidays. That is always around 6 weeks. So 6 weeks in a year, you can take holiday and just go somewhere and you will still get your pay. So someone is asking, how much is B2 training in Germany? B2 training and exam is very expensive. The B2 training is 450 per course. That is B21 will cost 450 euro. B22 will also cost you 450 euro. And the exam is 200 euro. So in total, you will need like 1,100 euro. In Kenyan shillings, that is up to 170,000 to study B2 in Germany. And someone also is saying, I have diploma in mechatronics engineering and I have applied the German language. How can I be helped secure a job? Mechatronics. With mechatronics, if you get up to B2, I think you can get maybe some companies. There are some companies looking for engineering. So mostly some of them go with the degree most, but you can just inquire if diploma also they take and get to know about it. So, but mechatronics, engineering, the job opportunities you can still find. It is not closed. And are there supply chain management opportunities? Those ones I've said, those ones are very few. Those ones are very few. Like I said, like the AI is taking that field mostly here in Germany. And they like big companies like the Mercedes company, the Volkswagen company, they have done a very big layoff in the past years, almost 30,000 employees. Those are some that are in the supply and chain management. So you'll find those jobs now, AI are taking them because Germany is an advanced country. So those ones, you can't have high opportunity on them. You can't have high opportunity, those ones. So assuming I have a B2 certificate, now I might get there. If you're a nurse, you have B2 certificate. We start with the recognition process and then finding an employer. After getting you an employer, you get to Germany. And now, someone who would like to join Passcode German Institute, it is a good institute there that many students have taken their language and have gone through that path. And you get to interact even the director is a nurse, and he also knows the integration processes. So the teachers there are also good. The trainers are very experienced. So always it will give you a good opportunity there when you learn at Pascal. And are you given temporary travel document or travel if you are to wait for long, or you have to wait for long for you to travel? You will be given visa. I think when you find an employer, you are given a visa. Then that visa is always like temporary. It is 1 year visa. So when you get to Germany, you'll extend it in Germany. Now, how how am I to find an employer? Just get in contact with Mary Silvia, and I think when you share with her the documents, like she had said, what passport does, then you'll agree with Mary Silvia there. Then she can work on those documents after reviewing them, and plus the CV and everything. So for the person looking for employer, get contact with Mary Sylvia. She will advise you further about that. Mhm. Any other person? Any other question here? Sylvia, are there still others on your hand?
So I can see there's so many questions on other fields other than nursing. Many people are asking about computer science, others are asking about agricultural seeds or
I'm seeing
agronomy.
one here. What about computer science? Computer
Yeah.
science, let me start with one. I'm seeing one from Amos here. The opportunity card, job visa, what can do in the first 4 months while trying to integrate well and find suitable job to align while career development due to. Now, this opportunity card is always something you be careful about it because you will get to Germany. I have a student also, or someone I know who came, and it was very difficult because the time is running out with your visa and you are not yet to get an employer. When you come, maybe you have done maybe supply and chain management. What can only rescue you first is having German up to B2. The reason people sometimes go with opportunity visa card because it needs only A2. But now with A2, you'll find you can't work, you can't communicate, you will get many rejections. So with this opportunity visa, work on your language even up to B2 so that now you can convince them well. You can speak and convince, saying, I can do this job like that. Then what about computer science? Computer science, I was once talking to someone who is mainly based on that field and told me the works in computer science have reduced because being now, you will find that the Germans, they can hire, some people can work just from outside the country, and you will find it is very difficult for computer science for you to find when you've learned even the German language. Just Google about computer science job. You can find some companies even that you can work with remotely, even when you're in Kenya. But when you have the language, and agricultural seeds, comp or agroeconomy. Here I cannot speak much about it, but I remember I have someone I know who is here but did agriculture also. She's working in a farm. I asked her about it, and she was here to explain to me how that one goes. So on agriculture, I can say there are minimal chances. Not I've not heard much about them, but there are very minimal chances there for agriculture. But you can get some because Germany is an agricultural land. They do a lot in agriculture. They do well in agriculture with machines and so on. And can one do B2 language online with the tutor in Kenya? Yeah, you can do that. When you're in, you can do the B2 online and you just register and do the exam in Kenya. You can also lead it by yourself, no problem. Counseling psychologist. Psychologists can get opportunity, yeah. Psychologist, I think, is falling about under the medical group. We have
Next haraka
physiotherapist. Yep. Mary Silvia, you're saying something?
ukwe chakula haraka.
Yeah. Okay. Psychologist, I think the opportunities can be there for psychologists. That one is also a very good field. Now, psychology, physiotherapist, those ones are now ones that are entering the field most recently. So there you can get. Someone is asking why German need skilled workers. When you study demography, when you look at the population of German, then you look at how their demography is. The aged are many than the younger. They don't give birth a lot, so they don't have that more skilled workers. They don't have that enough people to work. And what are the biggest monthly expenses? Maybe it's only the rent. Maybe it's only the rent that is maybe the biggest monthly expense, and others are not big. They're just small expenses. And if you are interested in the house building is where you learn and you are paid at the same time. Meaning, when you go to school, you don't go to work, you still receive your stipend. When the school are closed, you are at work. You work now. It looks like for those who did nursing knows how the rotation work. Maybe during long holiday. So here is now when you're doing house building, there is no that long holiday. It's work, study, work, study, work, study, and you get paid during that. It needs B2 because you will be taught in German language. It needs B2 and also revive your biology knowledge. When you are good in biology, the house building will be very simple because the learning in German is very simple. It's not difficult. Okay, so I think accountants, not really. Accountants is a little bit difficult to get the accountant's job. Mhm. Any other question on your side, Sylvia?
Thank you so much, Jonathan, for taking your time just to interact with the audience and share insightful information. I think uh, uh, 90% of people who have attended this webinar have already made their choice. And what is left is just for them now to begin the journey and move forward. So I will just encourage those of us who have joined that if you really want to pursue your journey towards going to German, join our team. We have a very dedicated team. Jonathan is also one of our tutors who takes us through some of the lessons. So I will encourage each one of us to keep to their commitment and start their journey to German.
Your network is breaking, bro.
Also, uh, one last has been postponing, or someone who is finding it difficult to catch up with the language. This could be a nurse who is currently working here in
Okay.
Jonathan, you can hear me now?
It was breaking. Now you can be heard.
Is it still unstable?
Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge is that forgive
MS,
forgive me for yes,
MS, can Brilliant
yes.
assist you?
Is she in the meeting?
Yes,
Mweke nini?
okay.
Cause huku kwetu ni ndege zinapita, sasa sina option ya nini. Ndege ikipita lazima internet ifungwe. Nini ipotee. Hi Jonathan.
Yes.
Eh. Oh, you please carry just go on and advise someone who would wish to move to German, and maybe it's not easy for them to make the decision. Those who are willing to who want to start the process but they keep procrastinate postpone. And also take through someone who would like to go to German through the Ausbildung process, how easy it is, and then let Breven conclude just in case my internet breaks again.
Okay. So I will start with a question I see here. Someone asking to move with German A2, then do B1 online, then with a tutor in Kenya, then you do exams in Germany. That one is possible. Now, how will you move with A2? That is the question. It is only through the chance cutting that you can move the A2. So, meaning, yes, it is possible. What is maybe is difficult is how will you move with A2? Which opportunity will you move with A2? So, with Germany, they don't have casual jobs that offer contracts. Here, they practice skill. It's either you come to Ausbildung, or when you've learned something in Kenya, you see it cannot integrate. That is when you look for Ausbildung. You look for Ausbildung as mechatronics engineer, maybe. You look for nursing. You look for a hotel Ausbildung. So casual jobs are not easily available. Then I think the passport, they don't take original certificates. They don't take original certificates. You just provide copies. Original certificates are some organizations are the ones that always need you to give them your original certificates, but at Passport, no original certificate. So the integration is always very simple. It's just everything revolves on the language. That is how German is. Everything is just on the language. Make sure you can do well in the language, then everything will be easy. When you have difficulty in the language, when you get to Germany, you will find you also have many stress. The language is stressing you, work is stressing you, things are now stressing you. So many things now will stress you, and which is not good. So just work on the language, improving the language. When you come to German now, you can integrate within 1 or 2 months. Already you can speak, already you can listen to everything well. Then you'll find the Germans, even they respect you. Because for them, they can't learn English. It's not that English is taught in Germany. It's only that they can't learn it. So they respect those who learn the German language and those who understand it. So that is always what is there with them. So for those ones wanting who have maybe the interest for Ausbildung, like I said, Ausbildung, for its application process takes a little bit longer than for nurses because nurses are on high demand. Ausbildung, there is now application process, which always normally starts in September, runs up to February. Then after that, there is interviews that run up to April. After that, you are issued with contracts. Then in August, September, or October, you can begin your Ausbildung. So you'll find for Ausbildung, it takes a little bit of time. Unlike for nurses, where it's only the 3 months for recognition of papers. After recognition of papers, it is now finding an employer, which also cannot take much time. Employer organizes an interview. They can organize interview even. You get an employer today, next week you have an interview. So always you get yourself ready as a nurse. Once the process starts, always get yourself ready so that you can be able to do interview at any time. That is it. So I think all the questions I've tackled, all the areas where people had questions, I think also I've answered some. Only some here which remains that Does it mean those in business-related professions have minimal opportunities in Germany? Then what can they do now to get opportunities? Do they change profession? Yeah, you will definitely have to, because you have minimal chances. If you need Germany, you just need to change your profession to integrate easily. But I can't be here and cheat you. No, you will get. It is there, yes, but it's very difficult. Even if you apply with a green card, the chance cut and come and try looking for opportunity with the business related profession, you'll find it is difficult. I've seen people coming and they have to make that tough decision even of changing now professions when you are already here. So it can reach a point it forces you to that. The medical laboratory technologists, are they considered too? Medical laboratory technologists. This one I was to inquire from someone because I've heard of it a lot. I wanted to inquire from someone if they also consider that, because it is in the medical related field. But in the medical related field, we don't know if on the technology there, but yes, they require people who can work in the endoscopy, in the sonography, and so on. So they need people, yes. But for that one, I think for now I can say 50-50. I've not inquired about it much, not that much. Yeah. So I think now, Brevian, you can just take over. I think you can just take over. The questions are over from my end.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. I believe I'm now much audible.
Yeah.
So I would like to first of all thank each and every person who attended this webinar today. It has really been an insightful and very encouraging session. So for those who would like to join our German language program, the training program, we're having an intake starting tomorrow, as I had mentioned earlier, for A1 and B1. So if you're really interested in joining or starting the process, please reach out to the numbers that I have shared. That is for our languages and for our marketing team. We also located at KTDA Plaza along Moy Avenue on the fourth floor. You can visit us anytime between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. You will meet our dedicated staff who will attend to you and guide you through the process. So for anyone who would like to prepare, and those who want to prepare for the exams, and they would like a one-on-one session with our tutors, or they would want to exam preparation tips, you can also join us. You can reach out to us. Majorly, you'll be contacting Sharon, who is our languages coordinator, Sharon Wamboy. She will take you through the process and guide you all through. And for those who want to pursue other pathways other than the Ausbildung or nursing, feel free to reach out to us. We will give you all the required documents and we'll guide you through the process. Also note that, just as Jonathan had stated earlier, doing your language while in Kenya is far much better and cost effective as compared to you going and doing your B2 while in German. So the good thing with joining Passcode is that once you get your B1 certificate and start preparing for your relocation, we immediately enroll you to our B2 program, and the charges are only 40,000 for those who would like to join our online program. We only charge 40,000. Please save the 170,000 that you would have used while in German, and only use 40,000 at Passport Global Consultants, and we'll be able to guide you through until we are sure that you've grasped the language and you're able to move forward. So join our program. We have very interactive, very well structured programs, both local and international tutors who are going to take you through the program. We also have dedicated staffs. Our director is a nurse by profession, and he understands most these migration pathways. So be sure that whenever you come or whenever you contact us, we will be able to give you proper guidance. For those who want to get up to date information, or they want to be updated on when are we having our next intake, or what is coming up, when is our next webinar, what topics to discuss, please join our WhatsApp platform. I have also shared the link. This will help us to walk through the process with you swiftly. Please join our platforms and also give us a call for proper guidance, and be sure that we will be able to walk with you through the journey. So that's it from today's webinar. I would like to invite Brivan, who is also our administrative assistant, just to say anything, to say a word or two, or share some advice, and then she'll be able to close the webinar. Brivan, if you can unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Mary Silvia. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be with you here today in this virtual meeting. And so much has been shared from Mary Silvia and Jonathan, and time waits for no one. You have the right information, at least you know where to start. So the intakes are ongoing, so please don't waste your time. You already have the information that you need. Just register with us at Passcode for those who want the language, or even any other pathway. I know this has been a German webinar, but there's so much that we offer at Passcode Consultants. So you can reach out for information regarding other careers, nursing, or those who want to pursue other pathways like Canada, the UK, Australia, and we'll be very glad to assist you. Thank you so much. I
All
think I
right.
will conclude the meeting. Or Mary Silva, you can conclude it. Okay, so I'll just conclude the meeting. Thank you for your time. It's not been a waste. You've got enough information, right directions to at least a starting point to whatever you want to pursue in Germany, whether you are the language or you planning your traveling. So in case of any questions, our numbers have been provided there. Just reach out, call, WhatsApp, and we'll be glad to help you. Thank you for your time, and you all have a good night.